Welcome to Mechanicy Stuff. Welcome to Mechanicy Stuff. Today's adventure is we're starting to put Fiona's engine back together. There's a splash guard to go on, the oil strainer, and then the sump. So let's get on with it. But first, do us a favour. Would you like and subscribe to the channel? It'll just help the channel grow, and it gives me a bit more confidence to do the videos. Alright, cheers. Not bad nick, is it, for a thing of 100 years old? I think that goes something. There we go. There is like a little peg, whether it's a peg or whether somebody's sheared one off in the past, because I think I've only got I've only got 4 bolts, so yeah, it is. I think long time ago somebody sheared 2 off, but to be honest, all it does, it just holds that in place. They're a funny little screw. I've actually got some washers, but I'm just looking at it. I don't think they'll have a look at the screws. I don't think they'll be any good. So we'll stick these on. They seem to be a very fine thread. Everything on this is a very fine thread. I went to try and find just one little nut, a little M6 I think it is, and everywhere I went, oh no, you can't get that thread anymore, it's you know, obsolete, blah blah blah. And what the bloody hell am I going to do? And I was rooting through a box of old taps. Blow me, I bloody found one. So I just took a smaller nut and I just tapped it out. But I don't actually know what the thread pitch is. It's amazing how things change over the years. Everything today, you know, it's M8, isn't it, basically? M8, M10. I don't think you find anything with bloody M12 in it these days. Nice and tight. Don't want this to drop off. I think all it does is creates like an oil bath for the bottom of the con rod, so it splashes oil up. That's lovely. Make sure they're nice and tight, because I say we don't want that bugger dropping off, do we? When I made Fiona's gaskets in a previous video, I also made a little gasket for the oil strainer, because I'm assuming the better the seal is, the better it'll suck the oil up. I did strip the oil pump down. I mean, they're very basic, they're just 2 bloody cogs. And it was reasonably clean, to be honest. And everything seems to work well. That's the oil strainer. I did stick a new piece of gauze in it. We'll put a bit of hematite on it, or whatever it's called in this day and age. You don't want vast amounts. Because obviously you don't want anything sucking up into the oil galleries. God's sake, don't use bloody silicone. Right. That's the old gasket. That's a new one that I made. I'll just give a little smear of hematite. I don't think it's called hematite now. I don't want the company screaming at me. Right, there's two little 12mm retaining bolts and washers on this that I should have taken off. I'm so surprised this survived. I'll reiterate from the no, we'll get that later. Previous video, there was little pinholes in the sump, and I'm assuming that the whatever condensation the water was in has piddled out through the pinholes and has saved everything. Fairness, red. There we go, that's one. Been a bit fun. Now my hand's blocking it at the moment, but I'm just trying to find the dumb thread hole. There we go, I think. Again. Ah, we're in. Now, it's the little thingies, the I don't know how you call this thing. It's quite flexible, so I think what we'll do is we'll do these up reasonably tight on the oil pump, and then we can flex the plate to hold the retainer. These are actually drilled to be wired. I don't want to go too silly with these because obviously quite old. Get the wire, the thingy, little holes. There's, I don't know, you might just be able to see that. There's a little hole in there. And of course it's totally in the wrong bloody spot to get the wire through. And that might not be too bad. I'll have to slack them out enough a cock. There. As if by magic. Right. Oh, you bastard. That's bloody snapped off. That's good wire, isn't it? Everything's shite these days, isn't it? My hands are cooked in every time. I can't get a grip on it. That'll do. Redo that, make it nice and neat. In theory, that should stop those. That'll stop those. I'll just make that one off a bit shorter. Just temporarily. That away. I'll stop those coming undone and getting wrapped up in the right. Do this one first, and you might be able to see. You might be able to see the one on the other side of me. There we go. See what I mean about them being flexible? It won't be if we can get the bloody nut on it, so why are you being like that? There we go. There's the washer. There's the nut. Right. And this is the other one. The washer on. Nut. These are all original. What came off. 12 millimeters. Now, in the bearing caps, I thought they were felt. They're actually, I think they're cork. It's the seal. I'll show you the sump in a sec. I'll just tighten this up. Then I won't forget. I mean, I'm assuming it'll piss on it out, because they all did. They're the homemade sump gaskets that we did. We did those in a previous video, so if you want to go back and have a look. That's a sump. I've stuck a magnet in the bottom of it. It's cleaned out. I welded the holes up, raised the holes up, and then put some epoxy resin on the inside just for double bubble. That's the hoot to tell you it's dinner time. I don't know if you can see these quite close up, but they're a cork gasket, and I have looked and I don't really seem to be able to find any. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a squirt of brake cleaner, and we'll stick a little bit of hematite in there and hope for the best. Let's get a squirt of brake cleaner. Hopefully it should go all the way around, because obviously we want to stick the old gaskets on. A little bit of hematite too. I was going to just stick them on with grease, but you know, to be brutally honest, they're easy enough to bloody make, aren't they? And we will, you know, we will be pulling it in bits after we get it running. Well, I'm saying that. If it runs all right, we will be pulling it in bits. But I like to regularly strip things, have a look. You know, it don't do any harm, does it? For the sake of a few bloody gaskets. Yeah, I think you're better off doing it, to be brutally honest. Right, happy days. So everything's tight there. That's tightened down. Now they are actually handed, these gaskets, so it might just take me a minute to work out which one goes where. I don't want a bad bloody guess. Oh, well, that's not so bad, to be brutally honest. I'm in an area whether just to stick them on with grease, you know, and just put some hematite over the cork gasket. Nah, bugger it, stick it on with hematite, easy enough to take off, isn't it? Right, it's really nice. It's going to be quite difficult for you to see this, isn't it? Come over to the workbench and we'll have to do a two and a throwaway. That bloody thing had turned itself on again. Right, I've turned the sadding gasket over. Which way is it? It's that way, so we stick that on. It's that way. Once it's stuck on, we can stick some on the other side, and we can just plonk the. Like I say, you don't want vast amounts of it on, because like I say, you don't want anything running into your bloody oil galleries and your cooling galleries and blocking it up. But you want enough to just seal it, you know. I think you're supposed to wait till this gets a bit tacky. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Right. Let's go stick him on. See if we can find the holes. Reasonably enough. Not too bad, is it? Might end up tearing a little bit of the squeaker off. Might be easier if I would sit the other side on and then I'll come back to the bench. I'm in great deliberation about what to do with Fiona. The half the bodywork's missing, and I've spoken to sort of people that are in the know, and yeah, I may be able to find a full body, yeah, but I only need half of it. So that would mean cutting it in half, and I'm not into that. I'm not going to destroy a perfectly good body, if there is one out there, just for half for Fiona. She was, you know, part of her history is she's been chopped up. So I've decided I'm going to make her into a little speedster. As a little special. I was arsing around with a wheel on the back end, just having a look. That's the spare wheel. Somebody's drilled one of the holes out absolutely bloody massive, so that's going to be another little repair job. And I think she'll look quite unusual, cute and unusual. So what I shall do, when we get 2 minutes, I will try and find a picture of something. I'm not going to copy. What I'd like to do is just take some ideas from a lot of different ones and I'll try and amalgamate them into Fiona. You know, if we can get her running, to me that's a massive step, yeah? Like I said, because she's been sea solid for donkey's years and stood there all on her own. Right. I can't actually remember which one I'll plug her. Yes. We've got some more hermitoids. And then, don't we? You know what, Mr. Gasket, I reckon they're going to piss it on. There, so I think we're going to use there. I've just slightly overdone it. I've done this one. Just give that little light there. So which is bloody which then? Ain't that amazing. There we go. Right. These are just little castellated nuts. This way. What we'll do is we'll bang one on in each corner. Just see if we can, square the sump up a little bit. I don't think we get a little 12 socket in there. That seems a bit silly, really, doesn't it? I think can't really see from that big paws, can I? Right. You don't think you just really see me put the rest of the nuts and bolts in. I'll get that done and we'll get back to you. Okay, cheers now. Bye bye.